Let me paint you a picture. Monday, you start the gym, feeling motivated. Thursday, you miss one session. Friday, you've already quit. Monday, you start a new job. Fresh energy. 3 weeks later, this place isn't for me. You're back on the couch. New diet, new hobby, new business idea. Same story every time. And everyone around you is calling you lazy, calling you soft, saying your generation can't commit to anything. But here's what nobody is actually asking. Why? Because I don't think Gen Z quits because they're lazy. I think Gen Z quits because their brain has been completely rewired. Think about how you grew up. Everything was instant. You want entertainment, one tap. You want food, 30-minute delivery. You want an answer, Google has it in 2 seconds. You want to feel good, scroll for 5 minutes. Your brain learned one thing from all of this. Results should come fast. If they don't, something is wrong. Move on, find something better. And then you walk into a gym expecting abs in 2 weeks. You walk into a job expecting to love it from day one. You start a business expecting money in the first month, and when it doesn't happen, your brain does exactly what it was trained to do. It tells you to quit. Find something that feels better faster. That's not laziness. That's just what happens when dopamine runs your entire decision-making. And here's the data that proves it. Studies show that most people quit a new habit within the first 2 weeks. Not because the habit is too hard, but because the results aren't visible yet. The gym doesn't show results in 2 weeks. A new skill doesn't click in 2 weeks. A business doesn't make money in 2 weeks. But your phone gives you dopamine in 2 seconds. So your brain compares everything to that, and everything loses. The job feels boring compared to scrolling. The gym feels painful compared to lying in bed. The business feels slow compared to watching someone else's highlight reel. Bro, you're not competing with the gym. You're competing with an algorithm that was literally designed by the smartest engineers in the world to keep you hooked. And you're wondering why you can't stay consistent. Kobe Bryant practiced 800 shots every single morning, not because he felt motivated, not because it was exciting, because he refused to let boredom beat him. And that's exactly what separated him from everyone else who had the same talent but quit when it stopped feeling good. But here's the part that actually hurts. Every time you quit, it gets easier to quit next time. Your brain starts to learn that quitting is just what you do. And slowly, without even realizing it, your identity starts to change. You stop seeing yourself as someone who finishes things. You stop trusting yourself to follow through. You stop starting new things because deep down you already know how the story ends. And that's the real damage, not the missed gym sessions, not the jobs you left, not the businesses you never finished. It's what all that quitting does to how you see yourself. Because every single time you quit, you send yourself a message. I'm someone who gives up. Say that to yourself enough times, and you start to believe it. I've seen the smartest, most talented people achieve nothing, not because they lacked ability, but because they never gave anything enough time to actually work. Now, before you think this is just another stop being lazy speech, it's not. Because here's the thing. Not all quitting is bad. Quitting a toxic job, smart. Quitting a relationship that's destroying you, necessary. Quitting a habit that was never right for you, completely fine. The problem isn't quitting. The problem is quitting because something got hard. Quitting because results didn't come fast enough. Quitting because boredom showed up. Because boredom always shows up. Difficulty always shows up. The question is whether you're someone who pushes through it or someone who opens a new tab. So what do you actually do? First, pick one thing. Not 5 new habits. Not a complete life overhaul. One thing, something that actually matters to you. Not something that looks good on Instagram. Not something your friends are doing. Something you actually care about, and then give it time. Real time. Not 2 weeks, not a month, at least 6 months of consistent effort before you decide if it's working or not. Because that's how long it actually takes for anything real to start showing up. The gym results, the business revenue, the skill improvement. None of it comes in 2 weeks. All of it comes from the person who showed up on the days they didn't feel like it. Here's what I want you to think about. 5 years from now, the version of you that actually made it didn't get there by finding the perfect opportunity. They got there by picking something and refusing to quit when it got hard. That's it. No secret formula, no perfect timing, no motivation that never runs out. Just someone who decided, this time, I'm going to find out what happens if I actually don't quit. Gen Z isn't lazy. Gen Z is just the first generation that grew up with a device in their hand designed to make everything else feel boring. But boring is where the real stuff happens. Boring is the gym session nobody sees. Boring is the gym session nobody sees. Boring is the hour of work with no results yet. Boring is the Tuesday when nothing is happening, but you show up anyway. On the other side of boring, that's where the life you actually want is waiting. Go find out. If this made you think, subscribe. Because somebody has to keep saying the things nobody else will say to your generation, and that's what we do here.